Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of World of Darkness. And, yeah. There's probably a lot of people pissed about the last episode and the cliffhanger I left everybody on, but I promise it's all gonna be explained today. Hopefully, my voice and everything else is a little bit louder this time. I noticed in the last recording it was a little bit, quieter, I guess. So hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully I'm a lot louder. I'm trying to speak a lot louder, get a little bit closer to my microphone, and everything else. Now, again, this is the second episode, and I have to go through a few things before we actually start. I will be having links up for this episode just so you can go to our Discord and everything else and, enjoy, share your stuff. I will be probably making a subreddit or a Reddit or something like that. Maybe even a wiki page for all the characters. Just, make it a little bit unique and work worthy. For last episode, I am sorry. There's a lot of cuts and rough edits because obviously one of our dear players is actually not here today, as seen. Kirsten is currently absent, and because of that, this story will go a little bit differently today. It will still be on the same track, but we are still on moving forward. Again, if you guys, I mentioned this in the last episode and I will be mentioning it every episode. If you guys want to help or do anything, hit that subscribe button, talk about us, and tell us suggestions about how we can make this better. Sorry for the rolling in the background, by the way. They're probably just testing out the dice and everything and seeing if everything's working. Other than that, again, the best way to get us out there and to get us moving on, talk about us, tell people, hey, there's these guys that do this thing, hopefully about Chillingly Bored. So, other than that, if you guys have any art of the characters, cool stuff, cool suggestions, cool stories, your own OCs within this world or anything like that, send it to us. I'm a sucker for fan art. I absolutely love that kind of stuff. Other than that, there is one last thing, and that's the graphic content warning. This is a dark game. We are dealing with very dark themes. If you don't like things such as any sort of abuse, sexual abuse, blood, gore, violence, alcohol, the use of substances, or anything along those lines, really. There's a lot of dark subjects, and there's no way I can cover them all. Some people are very, how do I put it? They don't like these things, of course. So, if you guys need to take a break, do that. If you want to watch it and you get sick or don't really like it, take a break, go off, it's fine. And obviously if you're watching this because you like the channel, let's say you see it from another thing, just know you don't have to watch this. It's perfectly fine. But thank you for joining us anyways. If you like dark stuff, awesome, you're gonna love this, because last episode was quite intense. And so, let us go on from last episode. Now, Nefarious and Connor, please make me a wits plus composure roll.
Wits and composure.
Yes, indeed.
Standard roll, okay.
Of course.
I almost rolled d20s.
Okay.
It has been done.
So, and Nefarious, you wake up. Hopefully I really haven't configured this sound, and hopefully it doesn't really rip your ears open. But heavy rain startles you awake. And from that, you wake up to a blur. Everything around you kind of fuzzy, and you're in your bed. Oh, fuck, the thunder. Your head has a splitting headache, and around your throat, around your neck and your back, you feel warm. You know that feeling when you fall and you hit something really, really hard? Like falling from a high surface and hitting cement? And there's that almost electric buzzing feeling. Yes, that is what you feel, and it hurts. And almost in a way, it doesn't go as far as it hurts, but it's almost a sting that is pleasurable. It's noticeable. Lightning shines through your window. And you realize you wake up another day alone. Another day to the thunder and rain of Kiev. It wasn't like this a few weeks ago, but ever since then, thunder, rain, and storms have been taking over for a good amount of time. Almost every day you can look above you walking through the streets, and it is very, very... Hold on. Shit. Never mind. Through every day you can look up the skies, pitch black, large arcs of thunder pitching down to the ground. It's a source of light, but for so many days it can get quite depressing, especially feeling that sense of darkness 24 hours a day, no matter day or night. And sometimes it feels like the thunder just shakes your entire house. It's hard to get sleep, and when you do, you have nightmares. But this one was real. It felt real. It felt too real. But you're used to it. You've been used to it for some time. You're still laying in your bed, looking up to your ceiling, wide-eyed. That electric buzz overwhelming your throat, mostly, and most of your body. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy. Okay. And so, here, I leave you to do what you need to do. But before you go off and walk and wander your house doing things and getting all sorts of prepared to get your day ready, this isn't the start of your normal day. Last night was startling, shocking. Felt too real to be a dream. From that, your head splits, or it feels like it's splitting open even more. It feels like that electricity feeling, that electric buzz that's at your throat, goes from your head down to your whole body, completely shocking you. At this point, you start to have visions, maybe images in your head, and it shows that apartment number. And it flickers through your head, along with what looks like a raven and that tree. It goes through your head over and over again. And as you're lying there in the pitch black, holding your head, throwing yourself forward, we switch off to Connor. Connor, you wake up in a cold sweat. Your whole body feels like falling to the ground on a piece of cement. Because maybe that dream was just a little bit too real and your mind processed it to be something as pain. But God, that electrifying feeling all down your back, your limbs, and especially your head. And there, your husky. What's its name, by the way, Connor? Your husky. Connor. Hello?
Yeah, one sec.
Okay.
Tanya. Hello?
Yeah, what's up? Everything okay?
I said it's Tanya.
Tanya? Okay. Tanya paws at you. Nervously, she seems to be whimpering, and usually she doesn't do this. Even though for the first few days of the rains and the storms, the lightning and everything else, she wasn't this nervous. You can barely move. It feels like you're paralyzed. And she's pawing at your side, biting you and tugging on you, almost as if she's trying to say, wake up. Please, wake up. But maybe that's just you. It's really hard to move, but you can blink. More thunder and lightning flashes at this point, kind of waking you up, and you blink your eyes into your corner. You see something. It's almost as if blood was dripping. And there you see it, or I guess her, staring you right in the eyes, falling from a blood puddle forming from the ceiling. Her arms reaching out, clawed into the ceiling, slowly falling.
Well, I'm dead.
The next flash, nothing is there. Maybe it's just mental paranoia, but it seemed so real. The dream as well. What was that? Didn't seem normal. You've had nightmares before, but never this bad. You have nightmares almost every night, and your mentor taught you to control them, but tonight was a different story. It was worse. Much worse. Who were those people that you met? Maybe they're just figments of your imagination or people you've seen on the street. Yeah, that could seem right. But you've researched occult lore, and it just seems so off. Now, your body slowly seems to get used to the buzz, and it almost seems to become a background hum. At this point, you may do as you please. Who would like to go first about their day? Now, this is not how you would normally go about it. It's probably around 3 in the morning. You guys are night owls. So, who would like to go first?
I guess I'll go first.
All right, man. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna head into the bathroom and check my character's neck in the mirror. See if there's actually any damage or if
Oh,
I was
interesting.
see if the dream was real or not.
You get up, stumbling through the dark to your bathroom. Turning on the light and looking at yourself in the mirror, it blinds you for a moment. Opening your eyes, you swear there was something behind you, grasping at your throat, and you shake it off. You have a sigh of relief that it wasn't real, and you look at your throat. There doesn't seem to be anything there. It almost looks to you, and maybe this is just the blinding light, but it almost seems to be static. Almost as your eyes blur at the spot, but then fixate on it and it begins to go back to normal. Strangely enough.
Huh. Well, since I'm hallucinating scratches on my neck, I guess I'll just continue to go about my daily routine to get ready for what I do best,
Okay.
I guess.
Well, you both, by the way, Connor and Netherius, have that picture. An apartment building. A red moon. The number explicitly burned within your mind. And the lone tree with a crow sitting, or sorry, my apologies, a raven sitting upon a branch, cawing. It's almost as if you would never think of this, but it's so burned in your head. It doesn't make sense. You've never seen this place before, but you do know how to track it down. Strangely enough. You don't know exactly where it is, but you have kind of a good idea, even though you've never been there before. Do any of you ever, in your mornings, go out to breakfast, go fill up your car for gas, do that sort of thing? Just curious.
Nope, I'm taking my dog for a walk.
Okay.
Okay, I cook breakfast at home and will probably take my bike out for a spin, see if
Okay. Sounds good.
through the morning.
I did have Irish coffee, by the way.
You did have Irish coffee?
Yes.
Okay. Weird question. What kind of breakfast do you make?
Probably not so weird answer, just bacon, eggs, and toast.
For a hitman, you live kind of an ordinary 3 o'clock in the morning life. Make your breakfast, eat it. Your head's still a little bit ajar, but you're feeling better. But there's that silence. Or maybe not so silent. It's more of a background hum that you get used to. It's the rain and the thunder, but other than that, there's nothing else. Maybe the creaks of your house, remnants of long gone, and maybe a laugh. A small giggle in your head, but you know that's not real. You know that's part of your condition. That's more in your head than anything. Kind of flick yourself, pinch yourself, do whatever you need to make it go away. And then you continue eating your breakfast. Connor.
Nothing but a persistent memory.
So, Connor, for you, do you do anything before you take Tanya out for a walk?
I get my Irish coffee and then go for my walk.
You're brewing your coffee, and Tanya is more quiet than usual. She's usually quite the. How do I put it? Um. Fun dog.
Fluffy.
Yeah, Fluffy. She likes being pet. She likes your attention. Likes to scratch and bark. Normal, playful things. But today, the most she has done is whimper, sit in the corner, and watch you make your coffee. Pour a little of whatever you want in there. Probably scotch, something of that nature. And.
You got it.
Alright. And you put the leash on her, but she doesn't really want to get up until you kind of tug. And she gets up slowly, looks at you, and kind of something that almost worries you. Because your dog has never done this, and you've owned her for years. Yes, she's getting a little bit older, but this is off for your dog. It puts you on edge, almost. Or maybe fully on edge. You love your dog. It's the one thing you have other than a few people in this world. Your dog's your everything. On nights where you can't sleep and you remember past events, you hold her tight because she's the one thing that stayed with you since childhood. Good old Tanya. And so, you put your leash on her, scruffle up her head, and go out for a walk. On your drive, Nefarious, you notice the rain is pouring down again. And it practically drenches you. Driving down the streets is something as ever. Some people talking, but mostly just the thunder and the rain. Of course, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. There's not many places open except the convenience stores littering here and there. This kind of issues a sense of loneliness, but you've always kind of had that feeling. You really don't have anyone. Not like how Connor has some people here and there. Your contacts, rather, are ones of business and nothing more. Unless I'm missing something and I don't actually know. Other than that,
Nope.
you drive. The sense of loneliness kind of crowding you. Maybe it'd be nice to go fill up your bike. It seems to be running low. And maybe get a cup of coffee. It'd be nice to have some human interaction once in a while. That's not putting a bolt in the back of somebody's head. If that's something you would like to do, of course.
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Alright. Connor, where do you plan on walking Tanya? Just,
Down to the.
down to the park? Okay. And so, you do that. You walk her. It's a nice time. She seems a little bit skittish at some things, but you almost give her a promise. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be okay. She seems to be jumping at shadows at this point. every time the thunder strikes, she kind of jumps away and huddles towards you. But then when she bumps into you from the lightning, she jumps back and growls. But then you do what you always do. Give her a pat on the head, scruffle her under chin and on top of her head, her ears, and you tell her it's going to be okay. And she calms down for a bit. But every so often the thunder strikes and the lightning flashes. Like I had said before, this has been going on for a while. Kiev isn't known for its thunderstorms going on for weeks. And here, so it just happens. It's been happening for a long, long time. At least for 3 weeks seems like a long time for never-ending thunderstorms. It's almost making people have an agitated mood. Angry. People start to think they can do whatever the hell they want just because it seems like Kiev is going to shit. At least the edge of Kiev. But you guys are strong. You're not going to leave this place just because of some rain, some thunder. Maybe you even like it. It might be enjoyable. It takes out your thoughts. It blurs some out and it makes you think some better ones. But it might also be a problem, causing depressed, sorrowful thoughts, bringing nostalgic memories rather than the good ones. I mean, bad nostalgic memories rather than good ones. So you walk, Talia, and you drive your bike, Netherius and Connor. While walking, Connor, you see a kind of sad sight. It's a girl. She can't be no older than 18. Maybe 16 to 20. It's really hard to put your finger on it. She seems a little bit off. But she smiles at you as you walk past with your dog. And Tanya growls and barks at her. She kind of jumps back and she looks up at you with what seems to be a coffee cup. And she goes, "Change. Money, please? Change?" And she asks,
Sorry, I don't have anything. I'm just taking my dog for a walk.
"You have nothing? No change at all?"
No, sorry, miss.
She kind of puts her head down. She has long black hair kind of curling around her back. It's very fluffy almost, curly, though the rain is making it poof more. She has a rugged overcoat, torn in places. It's quite cold today. Good thing you have your trench coat on. While she wears this orange rugged jacket with fur lining. It seems to have holes and cuts in it. Her eyes have a weird amber-like color. Her skin is almost a porcelain white. Her hair seems to almost infatuate you. It's gorgeous. You haven't seen many people with this kind of hair. Long, fluffy, curly. Her eyes look from down to up. And she gives you a smile. "That's okay, mister. You're fine. Can I pet your dog, please?"
Are you okay with that, Tanya?
Tanya kind of shakes her body, to get the rain off, and she kind of puts her head down, more listening to you than anything. And she bows her head.
I don't think Tanya's in the mood right now. But do you drink coffee?
She kind of smirks at that and she goes, "If I had the money for it, I'd buy it more often. Coffee's probably one of my favorite things."
Well, I don't have any cash, but I do have a card, so I could get you coffee if you want.
She smiles a grateful smile. It's sweet, it's pure. And she gets up, and you notice she's quite petite in stature. She's quite small, maybe 5 feet and some inches, but nothing more than that. Maybe 5'5". You can't really tell, but she is definitely a smaller girl. How does she make it here in Kiev? There are thugs running around all the time preying on girls just like her. And yet, here she is, sitting next to a brick building with a cup. Still lovely and not broken, or so it seems. She definitely seems down in the dumps, but I don't know. Maybe it's strange to see a girl around the age of 18 to be in the middle of the streets alone and so willingful to go along with you. But she does what she has to do. And she smiles gratefully and walks along with you and Tanya. Switch over to Netherius. And Netherius, you pull up to the gas station. Gas station or / convenience store. Pull up your bike. Stop it. Look at it. Go, okay. Fill up your gas and go in to pay for it. Now, at this point, when you're in the convenience store, you see a few people in there. None really too noticeable, except one. One person is kind of sticks out. Strangely enough, you know a lot of people. You've seen a lot of people because of your, job. And because of this, he seems like, or they seem like, one to just fit in, blend in with the regular crowd. But they don't. They have an odd feeling about them, creating a sense of discomfort. You don't want to be near this person, yet you're interested, though there's a great hatred that grows being around him. Sickening. You see them go grab something. They grab a bottled drink and maybe some sort of Danish off the shelf. Goes up to the counter and starts paying for it. Is there anything you want to grab or pay for? Maybe coffee, or is it just the gas?
Probably get a coffee and something to snack on for later.
Okay, sounds good. You grab those, and as you start to turn to go walk up to the register that the hooded figure is paying for, just for a little bit more information, the other people in this place is the woman at the register. She has long blonde hair. um, blue eyes. She seems to have a thick Ukrainian accent. Other than that, there are two, maybe three other people in the store describing some small supplies, groceries. Nothing of great importance. But then there's the hooded figure, who is in a long gray hoodie, work boots. He seems to have gloves on, long sleeve, black shirt kind of peeking out from beneath the hood as he goes to pay for it. And you don't see his face. The hood covers, hides almost. You can see the woman at the cash register looking very uneasy. She seems scared of this man. You can definitely start telling more that this is a male figure. He's big. He might only be around 5'11", 6 foot, maybe even a little bit more, but this is a burly guy. He looks thin, but you can definitely tell from how the hood covers him, he probably works out on a regular basis. Whatever this guy does, he looks ripped, shredded, and you don't see this often. You, being a hitman, you take kind of some respect at this. The people that you've faced before, some give you challenge, some don't, but this guy seems to be whatever he's doing. He's doing it good.
Am I close enough to hear what he's saying to the lady?
Actually, yeah. As you walk up behind him and he kind of puts the things down, he looks to her. May I? And she's like, oh no, he goes, how much? And she kind of stuttering, works at the register and tells him, the base amount. And as he starts to go put the money upon the table, some people walk in to the store. And they seem to be the rowdy kind of bunch. You know, thugs when you see them. The guys who kind of whoop and you know that they're trouble. Always causing something. And you definitely know that they're going to start trouble. They're, or at least what seems to be kind of more expensive clothing and heavy pockets. Can you make me... Let me just see what this check would be. Make me an investigation and intelligence roll.
I sure can do that.
Okay, let's see what you rolled.
At a 12.
That is weird. How did you get a 12? Maybe it rolled twice because you got a 6. Okay, that's better. One of them definitely is gripping something in their pocket. That's weird. Why would they be gripping something in their pocket? Or maybe it's their coat. It's their hoodie coat pocket. There are 4 of them. At least 3 walk in and 1 waits outside smoking a cigarette. The 3 that you see, I'm going to describe to you. The one who seems to be maybe a joker or something of the sort. He seems to be the leader of the 4. He's a darker skinned man. Short, fuzzed hair. And he has a thick urban coat with fur lining. Except it looks new. probably expensive, you would guess. Nice new black shoes. He walks up to the register, pounding his fist on the counter. Hey, sweetheart. You remember us, right? She kind of jumps. There's definitely fear in her eyes. She doesn't seem to be having a good work night. She seems startled for a moment, not being able to speak. And in a thick foreign accent, she says, "Yes, I remember you. But in Ukrainian, it's very hard to kind of hear that. She's trying her best, but it's a very thick accent." He hits the counter again, making her jump. "Did you not hear me? You remember us, right?" "Oh, I bet you do, sweetheart. Now, you did talk to your manager about the money, correct? Because we're offering you protection. Now, we wouldn't like you to get hurt now, would we?" And he kind of opens his arms up to the two beside him. At this point, you see a kid, probably no older than 17. He's young. You see him sweating. He's not used to this kind of thing. He probably just joined whatever kind of thuggish gang this is. He's shaking. He's very, very nervous. He seems to be fiddling with something in his pant pocket. The one to the left seems to be the quietish, brute type, standing around 6.5 feet tall, burly, muscled. Probably the bodyguard of the group, just in case things get a little bit iffy. The man in the hood looks over to him. "Are you really gonna hurt a poor girl now? Who would do such a thing?" And the man, kind of looking around, kind of moves his hand out of his hood pocket, showing and making it glance around to the obvious three of you: Netherius, the woman at the counter, and of course the man with the hood. You don't see the reaction from the man with the hood because his face is covered, from at least your angle. The woman gasps, holding both hands over her mouth. A tear drops. "Now, if you don't want me to shoot every fucking one of these people and bust a cap in all of you, you should give me the money." At this point, the 2-3 other people in the store, as they start to get done, they hear this. One of them screams, and he pulls out the gun and aims it at that person. "Shush, shush, shush, shush. You want to be quiet now, don't you? I don't want to shoot any innocents today. All I want is my money. I told your manager to put it here. It's in a bag under the counter. He always gives me my money." The girl, foreign accent, tries to start explaining to him that they didn't make enough money this month. They don't have enough. They're just trying to keep it open. And at this point, he looks to the burly guy and does a signal with his hand. He grabs her head and slams it into the counter. as hard as he can. And she drops to the floor. Now, is there anything you would like to do, Nefarious, before things really hit the fan?
Yeah, is there a way I can kind of get up behind the speaker of the group?
Yeah, you can kind of move behind him, like start stepping away. Or
Nah, I want to get close.
Oh, you want to get close? Okay, yeah, sure.
I want to kick his ass.
All right, man.
Okay, not literally kick him in the butt.
Yeah, but do something.
Definitely whoop his ass.
Do stealth plus dexterity. You want to do this fast. You want to get this done. So.
Stealth and dexterity?
Yep, indeed. Okay.
Voila.
And I will do a thing real quick. Oh, that is probably not what I want to do. Show everybody stats and everything. I wouldn't like to do that. Oh, that's one. That is not what I wanted to do. Okay. Let me...
That is exactly what you wanted to do.
That is not what I wanted to do. Okay. This is better.
No.
Okay. You get close behind him, and he kind of moves the gun from the person, and he slowly starts putting, like, you can see him start to whip around with the gun towards you.
Well, I guess I gotta speed up what I'm doing and
Okay.
get in a little closer, a little faster.
All right. Is there anything you want to do right as he's whipping the gun around?
Do I have any of my any of my weapons and stuff on me?
I completely forgot to ask because I'm a terrible person. Did you bring anything with you?
I probably would have brought one or both of my
Katanas?
swords.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to use said katana or swords?
I don't want to kill the guy. I just want to get in close enough and put it to his throat.
Okay. Make a dexterity plus composure for me.
Oh dear, lovely roll.
Oh god. Okay. It gets to his throat, but then the big guy has your hand all of a sudden. You don't want to do that. Trust me. We're just here for
What do I do, my friend?
He starts to twist your arm. Kind of in a awkward way so that you can't, and starts trying to pull it away from his throat. And the talker, he does whip around and put the gun to your head. Now. Trying to put a gun up to my head, a knife to my throat. Trying to be a hero, I can see. Do you want me to shoot you in the head? It's just collateral damage. You don't have to protect this girl. We just want the money. Get out, and that's all. Or I can shoot you right fucking now. It's your choice.
Am I able to grab his gun with my other hand?
Now saying that, you see the guy in the hood grab the gun. Almost unhumanly fast. Grab it. You probably shouldn't have done that. Because talking about busting caps in people, like pulling the slide back on the Beretta. Now, let's have a little talk. And he points it at the speaker. The speaker looks afraid, but tries to throw it off and look back to him. Now, you see, I would be afraid of that if... And the big guy kind of rustles in his coat and pulls... You didn't see it before, but it seems like it was in his coat pocket. And he slyly had pulled it out, and he's now aiming it at the man's chest. The hooded figure. Now, before you shoot me in the face, or you get shot, what would your name be? And yours. And he looks like, kind of glances back at you, Mr. Hero.
You don't get the privilege to know my name, kid.
He chuckles at that and smiles. Well, shit. Who knew before I die I'd be called a kid by some edgy-looking motherfucker? Damn. Or maybe not. New kid, what the hell are you doing? And the new kid, at that point, fumbling around, in his hand is a small light pistol. You can't really tell what it is. It's probably nothing special. And he's shaking with it, aiming it at you, Netherius.
Are you sure you want to do that, new guy?
He takes a big gulp. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this. This is my chance to get in with the and he starts shaking uncontrollably, aiming the pistol at you. Probably chest, not head or anything like that, but he's definitely a kid. He doesn't know what to do in the situation. He's confused and scared. And now, at this point, we switch to Connor. Connor, as you're walking through to get to the... are you going to the gas station for coffee?
I see how this is going. Sure, I'm gonna go to the gas station for coffee.
Okay, and so you start walking to the gas station. Tanya grows a little bit less wary and a little bit more happy. Gets a little bit more of a pep in her step. And she starts getting a little bit closer to the girl. Is there any conversation that you would like to have with this girl? Ask her anything.
I guess common questions like, when did you get here? How old are you? And like classic get to know you questions.
Okay. For the age, she goes, don't you know never to ask a woman her age? And she smiles. But then she looks at you and goes, I'm 18. Just if you wanted to know, for whatever reason. My name is Blair, by the way. And you are?
I am Connor.
Well, that's a strange name to be having in Kiev. Kind of rolls her eyes and says, Blair is too, but Connor, that's an odd one.
Well, it's odd to find a young girl just wandering around in Kiev.
Well, if my parents weren't such fucking terrible parents, then yeah, it is odd to see an 18-year-old girl wandering the streets of Kiev. Technically homeless, but I do have a place to go if things get terrible. But I'd rather be on the streets.
Well, at least tell me it's not a cardboard box.
Well, yeah, it's worse than a cardboard box. And she kind of scratches at her left arm, the wrist section. She
Paper
looks.
mache.
What?
Is it paper mache?
No, she's just scratching at her wrist. It's kind of.
No, you said it was worse than a cardboard box, so I'm wondering if it's paper mache.
Do you actually say that to her? Just kind of curious.
No, let's not.
Yeah, that might not end up so well. You continue talking. You kind of figure out some more information about her. She's been out of the house for a while because of her parents. She's been kind of struggling to survive and has been kind of just keeping by because some people do give some amounts of money every now and again. She's actually from Ukraine. She's not from Kiev. She didn't grow up in Kiev, but she is from Ukraine. She did move here. Other than that, you don't get really told much. It is actually kind of a little bit awkward, but it's that kind of awkward silence that feels right. It's a nice silence. Having company beside you other than just your dog. It's a nice, peaceful silence. Until you get up to the bright LED lights of the gas station or the convenience store, whatever you prefer. It's a little bit less quiet. You hear some shouting, some talking, and you see multiple guns being pointed at multiple people through the window. Now, here's a question, Connor. Did you bring anything on you?
Of course.
I forgot what things you had. What do you have on you currently?
My butterfly knife and brass knuckles.
Okay. Did you bring... Oh, you don't have a pistol.
Everything else is too big to fit.
You're right. You're right. Okay. Now, you see...
I guess it's melee day.
Indeed it is. There's a man out front smoking, calm as can be. There's a burly guy, a hooded figure, blood on the counter. And make me an intelligence roll. Oh, is that the roll? The 3d10?
Yes.
Okay. That guy in the trench coat looks very familiar. Weird. Tanya gets down in a crouched position and starts growling. A very deep growl. Scared. Angry. And so, she does. And Blair kind of covers her mouth seeing the guns and gasps.
I whisper to Blair to step away, and I snap at Tanya to shush.
Okay.
Do I know any, quick knockout moves? Not to kill, but to knock out people.
You probably wouldn't know any knockout moves. But you do know, I mean, you have fought before. You know how to fight with what you have. You've been in a few fights before, but yeah, you know a few things. You know how to brawl, you know how to fight.
Are any of the people inside paying attention to the guy that's just sitting outside?
No, they're more focused on the guns being pointed at each other. The deathly situation that they're all in.
Well, I believe with how calm he is, he's probably in the robbery. And so I want to take him out as quietly and unnoticeable as possible.
Okay. Can you make me a stealth plus dexterity roll, please? Because you want to do this quickly. Okay.
Item ninja.
And now... Use a lackey. So, there we go. Oh. Okay.
So I win, right?
You get up behind him. And you are able to throw a punch or stab. What would you like to do? Do you want to use your brass knuckles or knife?
Brass knuckles.
Okay.
Give him a hard hit.
Alright. And so, if you can make me a strength plus brawl plus... Oh gosh, hold on. There's a lot of pluses here because you have a lot. And I have to look for the rules of said brass knuckles. Okay.
Plus 25 attack.
Okay. Seems about right. Yeah. So, brawl plus strength. And yeah, that's about it.
Darn it.
He was unaware. Now that I actually think about it, the rules do state that it's unaware. I was just saying what you would get if you get a harder hit. But you hit him right upside the head with your brass knuckles in the face.
Brilliant.
He kind of holds his head and he stumbles, kind of shaking his head like, what? Being hit in the head with brass knuckles is kind of ouch. And he kind of spits blood on the floor.
And I attack quickly while he's confused.
Yes, you actually may. This is... Now, everybody, just so you know, I don't know all the combat rules, and this is... I'm trying to do this a little bit more cinematically, kind of more movie-like, just so it smooths a bit. It goes over and flows a bit more. Now, if we do get in a crazy big combat encounter, I will be using like all the initiative and everything. I'm just using this to go through it more like a movie. So, just so you know, so I'm not getting bitched out in the comments. Thank you, everybody. Anyways, you may get an extra hit in. Go ahead. Roll brawl plus strength. And you do.
And I'm really bad at punching.
You punch him right in the jaw. You punch him and he kind of stumbles in the light, kind of holding his face, spits out blood, and as he turns around, you clock him right in the jaw. And he spits blood, maybe a tooth, and he falls to the ground limply, like a sack of potatoes.
I move him out of sight of anyone in the store.
Okay, you do. Now inside the store. Nefarious. You currently have a gun being held at you by a very skittish kid. Now, the problem with this, Nefarious, is that you know skittish kids. You've been around them. Their finger, they don't really know how to shoot, but it's always they shoot and ask questions later because that's when they've been told to do. Because they're skittish, their adrenaline's pumping, they're sweating, they're scared, but most of the time they pull the trigger before they really think about it. And it's because, more or less, it's because they are shaking and they're aiming a heavy weapon in front of them.
Can I try and talk the kid out of pointing the gun away from my head?
Yeah, of course. Of course you can do that. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to calmly talk him through this, or are you intimidating him? What are you trying to do?
I just want to calmly talk him
Okay.
out of putting the gun down.
Can you
so
do
I don't get shot.
persuasion plus manipulation?
I sure think I can. To persuasion and manipulation, right?
Yep. Persuasion and manipulation.
There's that.
Okay then. That is definitely a roll.
This is definitely a roll.
It is definitely a roll. I just wanted to be part of the gang, man. I don't want to kill anybody. I just wanted to be better. I wanted to be stronger. I wanted to prove that I'm stronger. Damn.
You don't need to go around shooting innocent people to prove that you're strong.
He drops the gun on the ground and he starts crying. Fuck, I didn't think. Fuck! Ah, God, what have I done? No. And he just starts mumbling words such as, why did I do this? I might die tonight. Please, I don't want to die. And things along that nature as he sobs uncontrollably into his palms and hands. Now you don't have a gun aimed at you, but
I still have a big guy holding my arm.
yeah, the big guy is holding your arm and currently aiming a gun at the hooded figure who is aiming a gun at the talker. There's a lot of aiming guns right now.
Can I take out my second sword and stab his wrist that is holding my other arm?
Yep. Yes, you can. Can you roll dexterity plus dexterity plus survival?
Survival. There's that.
There is that. There we go. Oh. Okay. He sees you going to stab him. He goes to try and dodge the knife. Can you make me... Actually, no. That would be... Okay, he dodges. He moves out of the way. He does stop aiming the gun at the hooded figure, though. And as you look outside for like that moment of trying to stab, you see a body being dragged off.
Of course.
Santa Claus come.
Santa Claus doesn't kidnap full-grown men.
Don't let the children know.
Said he doesn't.
So, at this point, let me see. The talking guy looks to his, like, bigger bodyguard. Dude, what the Ah, God. Aim the gun where you're supposed to aim the gun! And as he goes to, like, turn back with the larger, heavyweight, probably 44 Magnum, the hooded figure has the gun already up to the big guy's head. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Just trust me on it. Unless you want to die tonight. All I wanted was a drink and maybe a snack, but no. Instead, there's you hooligans, and he pushes the Beretta into the big guy's head. Instead, you go around messing with innocent folks like her. I can make you pay. And Nefarious, I want you to make a roll for me. Connor, if you want to enter at any time, you can. By the way, I forgot to mention that at this point.
Can I search the guy knocked out for weapons?
Yes, you can.
What roll am I making?
Can you make an... Gosh.
I don't think that's a roll.
Hold on. I'm trying to look for investigation roll for me.
Just investigation?
Investigation plus maybe intelligence.
Is this for me?
No, just Nefarious. Okay. You get a glimpse at his face. He's trying to definitely hide it, the hooded figure. But as much as you feel uncomfortable, once you get a sight of his face, it's worse. Your stomach kind of aches seeing it. You only see his mouth and his chin, but it's pale white, with black makeup drawn into a smile.
We're being invaded by vampires.
No. Like I said, you probably shouldn't do that. Do you want to die tonight? Or shalt I teach you something about forgiveness and let you walk? He digs the gun into the guy's forehead. Now, you guys might be wondering, what is everybody else doing? The other 3 people in the store that were there, they're probably cowered behind the shelves and kind of waiting for this all to end. They're used to it.
They're probably videotaping it.
Yeah, probably.
It's going to be up on YouTube by the end of the night.
Yeah, it's kind of a sad thing. The kid is crying on the floor, and the talker is stunned. He doesn't know what to do. He's never had this happen before. It usually goes a lot more smoothly. What does happen, now that I mention this, he kind of shakes himself out of the fear and goes for the gun on the floor that the kid dropped.
So, have I finished searching the body?
Yes, you have. Can you just make me a plain investigation roll, please, Connor?
As the speaker goes for the gun, can I just, kick him in the ribs?
Yes.
As he
yes,
goes
you can.
down to get it?
You can
Kidney
definitely
punch,
kick him in the
go!
ribs.
Falcon punch!
No, I'm kicking, not punching.
Okay.
I know, I had to.
Can you make me a strength plus dexterity roll for me, Nefarious? And
Strength, dexterity.
Connor, you find a wallet and a small handgun on him.
I am having all of the luck with these rolls tonight.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Let's see. Oof. Okay. You kick him. A very hard thwap hits him in the ribs, and he starts coughing on the floor. And let me see, coughing on the floor. He just kind of had heavy steel-toed boots kicked into his ribs. You might have broken something. You don't know.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people out there also want his ribs broken. The kid on the floor goes for the gun. He grabs it. Unless you want to somehow stop him.
Am I closer to the gun or is the kid?
The kid is definitely closer to the gun.
I'm gonna back away from him slowly with my hands raised,
Okay, you do.
hoping that he's not gonna shoot me.
He grabs the gun, aims it at the body. As the talker goes to get up to come at you and holds his ribs, a loud bang. And the talker, the dark-skinned man with the heavy, rugged, urban jacket, blood splats on you, Nefarious, as a large exit wound appears on the talker's head, the leader's head, and he falls face down. The kid... Just a second. Let's see what he does. If he can do this, I'll be quite surprised, but I doubt it. Wow. He throws up. He pukes like there's a lot of vomit. And then he goes stone cold. As he slumps over the body, kind of almost delirious in a way. He has the gun at his side very loosely in his hand. And he doesn't talk. He's stone cold, just looking at the man he just killed.
I'm gonna walk over to him and take the gun out of his hand before he shoots somebody else.
Okay, you do. You take the pistol out of his hand. And then he starts talking to himself. The hooded man is keeping, by the way, the big bodyguard under control. Just aiming it at his head, kind of glancing over every now and again. But the kid starts talking to himself, or maybe it is to you, but he's talking. Why did I enjoy that? I don't understand. Why did I enjoy it? It felt good. And he looks up at you, Nefarious.
I don't know why you enjoyed that, kid. probably not a good thing that you did.
A tear rolls down his cheek as he looks at you. You don't seem scared. You don't even seem taken aback by why I shot him. Why
Yeah, I'm used to the killing for a living.
should you really be telling me that? As he kind of goes up to one knee, still
Who's
looking
gonna
at the body.
Who's gonna believe you? When people start finding out that you enjoyed killing somebody, they're just gonna throw you in the loony bin.
He starts laughing.
They're not gonna believe anything else you say.
He starts laughing very loudly. In fact, cackling at this point. Tears flow. And he seems to have broken under what has all just conspired. Connor, did you want to enter at some point?
So they still have like their Goonies on the back wall, right?
The only one left is the big bodyguard.
I thought there was two other guys that walked in with them.
The kid, the bodyguard, the talker, and the guy outside. That was all.
Oh, it was just the four of them. Okay, I thought there was four
Oh,
guys
okay, yeah, no.
or two other people that walked in, but I guess I'm who's thinking about something else.
Yep.
Yep.
The
Okay,
only one
well
left
then.
is the cackling kid who just killed the talker, and Connor, you definitely heard the 9mm. I think it was a 9mm go off, bang, and then they had their little conversation. Would you like to enter now?
Yeah, I will enter, aiming at the big guy and yelling at him to put the gun down.
The big guy doesn't have a gun. Does he still have a gun? Or
Yeah, he still has a gun.
he
The
does still have a
hooded
gun.
figure
It's
has a
just-
gun to his head, but he still has the gun.
Okay. Sorry, I just completely forgot for some reason. Okay.
Okay, I'll just aim in between the two so I'm ready to aim at whoever is more threatening. And I say, put the guns down.
The hooded figure looks to the big guy. You have been forgiven, my child. Drop your gun. Now. And so he does. Drops it. Clanks on the floor. You ever hurt a woman like that again? Anyone like that ever again? And I'll be back. And I will put a bullet in your head. Tell the others, if there are others, that if they do the same, I'll be after them. Do you get that? And the big guy just nods. He puts the gun down, levels it down, puts his left hand up, and honks his nose twice. Honk, honk. Now get the fuck out of here. And the big guy, he's a big guy, runs out of here. Currently there's a dead body on the floor. Maybe a dead woman behind the counter. Blood upon the counter. Two very scared citizens. One who's recording the whole thing. And then there's the three of you. The hooded figure, Connor, and Netherius.
I'm going to put the gun that I have on top of the counter and jump over to check on the lady behind it.
Okay. The hooded figure... Oh, yes? Go ahead.
I ask the hooded figure what the story is.
You can hear it from the one behind the counter. I have no reason to explain to you what happened. And he starts walking for the door. You kind of want to yell at him. You want to freak out on him. You almost want to blame everything on him that just transpired. You feel uncomfortable looking at him. Just a glance. You feel uncomfortable from his presence. He makes you sick to your stomach. Makes you very uncomfortable.
Well, I'm gonna go outside and get my dog and the lass.
Okay. You go get Tanya and the lass.
Is the lady behind the counter alive?
She's breathing. Her nose is broken, though. He slammed her head into the table pretty hard.
I walk over to the counter where Netherius is and look over.
There's a barely breathing woman with blood dripping from her face, probably her nose and mouth, into the onto the floor. It's pulling up, and Netherius is checking her blood pressure.
I turn around. I don't think you'll be getting your coffee today.
I don't think I could drink that crap right now anyways after witnessing that.
Blair just looks at you. Looks to the dead body on the floor.
I'm sorry, that was uncalled for.
To you. Looks to the hooded figure. And smiles.
Oh great, another insane kid.
She looks to the hooded figure. Puts her hands on her hips. So what are you doing here? I didn't think you'd be buying things from a gas station anymore after what happened last time. The big guy.
A relative?
The big guy just grunts. She looks over to you, Connor. No, he's just kind of a friend. He kind of helped me be on the streets. He's a good guy. Atlas, meet Connor and whoever you are behind the counter, sir. And the man, or Atlas now, looks to her. What did I tell you about my name? Sweetheart, you can't be telling people this. You know who I am. And she nods. Of course, but he helped me. And points to you, Connor. And he helped you, I guess? They don't seem to hate you. They didn't say anything to you. They didn't call you any names. Like those guys did. Freak. Druggy. You're not that at all. And they didn't call you it. You're a good person, Atlas. Just trust them. Trust them, please. Atlas, kind of hunched over looking at her. He pulls back his hood, and you finally see his face for the first time. He's handsome, a good-looking man. Black curled hair, draping. Like, it's not like Blair's. It's not fluffy and poofed and nice. Instead, it's a tangled black mess. His face is painted white with almost a smile painted way larger than it should be in black. His eyes, or I guess around his eyes, he has black, thin diamonds painted. And make an investigation roll, the both of you.
Just investigation.
Yeah. Okay. Connor, you notice a tattoo on his neck. It's 4 diamonds. 2 black, 2 red. It's almost like ones you find on cards. 2 red, top and bottom. 2 black, left and right. So, you're not gonna run from me? You feel like you want to run. There's an instinctual level where you want to yell at him. Run away. Be afraid. Or worse, you don't like him. It's almost like you feel sick and so uncomfortable around him that you want to yell at him just because you don't understand him in a way. If that makes some sort of sense. And so he repeats himself. Are you not gonna run away from me?
Why would I run? You seem to be friendly. And you know Blair, she seems to like you. She seems to be nice to me, so why would I run?
I'm just gonna ignore all of them, put some cash on the counter for the stuff I'm buying, and leave the gas station.
Now, Netherius, as you hop over the counter and look at Connor, you recognize him. He's a man from your dream. Exactly, Connor. She just called him by his name, too. Connor. It's him. But it was just a dream, wasn't it? Do what you need to do. Connor, you also notice Netherius is one from the dream. You recognize each other. Do what you need to do.
My character is just gonna grunt in annoyance and then proceed to put cash on the counter. And then walk out. And sit on his bike.
As he passes, I whisper deja vu and give a little chuckle.
You hear this, Netherius?
Oh, ball of sunshine.
What now?
Just gonna proceed to sit outside.
So you just
on my bike.
Sit outside on your bike?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait for him to come out before I try and talk to him.
Alright. The 3 in the store stop what they're doing and they run out. The one kid, or I guess the person on their phone recording it all, calls an ambulance. You can hear them talking on the phone. You can see Atlas scared. Or I guess not scared, but you can see the expression on his face of worry as soon as he hears about the ambulance. And he looks at Blair. Be safe, my child. Please. And she looks at him. Of course. You know I am, Atlas. You know I am. And, hey, if you ever need help, looking, I'm here. And he looks at her, boops her nose, and goes, of course. And he goes, oh, I forgot something. Reaches into his pocket, pulls out a small, what looks like cardboard piece, or thick paper piece, and he pulls off what seems to be a little gold star sticker and puts it on her head. You be safe out there, please. And if you need me, I'm here. And he quickly walks out.
I nudge her with my elbow twice. Hobo boyfriend.
She kind of gets a pouty, grumpy face. It's not like that. It's more like a dad. A nice dad.
I'm just joking with you. Still want the coffee?
She kind of perks up with excitement. Of course. I'd love some. And goes and starts making her coffee. Tanya. I forgot about Tanya. As Atlas walks out, Tanya starts barking and attacking his leg, but he shrugs her off and keeps on walking. She doesn't act like that around people. Yes, she's a guard dog, but she has never done that to somebody before.
Hey, is your friend a cat person?
He's not really an anything person. Well, I guess he does like the rats. The rats are nice for him. They keep him company.
I guess that's like a hobo cat.
Yeah, I guess so. And she smiles.
No offense. It's just fun to make up hobo terms.
I know how it is. It's always fun to make jokes. I mean, you kind of look like one yourself, no offense.
I give a little chuckle and head to the register.
The girl is still technically knocked out on the floor. She's been put in a better position where she's not pulled up with blood on her face. She's cleaned up because of Nefarious, but she's still knocked out on the floor, bleeding. Like, not bleeding, but the dried blood kind of where her nose is because the nosebleed stopped and her nose is kind of still crooked. But yeah, she's unconscious on the floor currently.
I start humming Following the Leader and slap some cash on the counter.
And you put the cash on the counter. What next?
I walk on out.
Alright, you walk on out. Now, Nefarious, this is kind of important. Are you on your bike, like sitting, or are you leaned up against your bike?
I'm kind of leaned up against it, just not really looking towards the gas station, but listening for the sound of Connor leaving.
Okay. You see him put money on the counter, walk out with Blair. Atlas, by the way, you see him walk out, turn a corner, and he's gone. Like, almost, you blink, and he's completely gone.
Sorry, ninja.
And there you can see Connor and Blair walking out of the store with a big husky. So, do you start walking towards Nefarious, Connor?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Weird question, but how tightly are you holding on to Tanya? The leash, of course.
She is my favoritist dog. she doesn't really need a leash. So I guess loosely.
She full on sprints as hard as she can. Leash falls out of your hand and she sprints at Netherius, tackling him to the ground. Or I guess, you know what? Make a composure roll. Make a strength plus composure roll, Netherius.
Oh boy. Should I make a roll to see if she's like aggressive running or just
It's full on sprint. It's kind of.
is it like aggressive though or playful?
Can you do an animal kin roll for me?
Sure.
An animal kin, I meant, sorry. Oh lord, okay. Yeah, so you almost hold yourself up as this massive husky barrels into you, and you about stand up, and then you slip on the water, falling back and hitting the ground. You know that feeling I mentioned earlier? That electric buzz that you feel when you hit something really hard? You get that.
Yes.
It starts at your back, but then your whole body. And then your head. And your ears have an unbearing ring. Do you hold your ears trying to get rid of the sound?
If I'm not currently being attacked by dog,
The
then
dog
yes.
is not attacking you. It's currently laying on top of you, just staring at you.
Just like okay. Yeah, I'm gonna
The friend in me.
So,
I'm gonna grab my head and shake it a little bit to try and clear it of the ringing.
now, you think you're shaking your head and trying to clear it, but what Connor sees is different. What Blair sees is different. You're on the ground, holding your ears, staring up at the sky, completely still. And Tanya, I about called her Thanya, Tanya lays on top of you, just looking at you, doing nothing else. Now, since Netherius can't really do much, Connor, what do you do?
So I ran after her once she started running. So I'm guessing I should be next to him by now.
Yep.
Okay, I crouch down. I poke his face.
So
Do
you
you
are
think
okay.
jumping?
Looking at his face, his eyes are amber colored, a gold, almost like a wolf's. But as they glaze over to the amber gold, they just as fast go back to his ordinary eye color, which I'm pretty sure is blue.
Yeah, it's a dark blue.
A
I
dark blue.
tell Tanya to give kisses.
As Tanya starts playfully licking your face, the ringing goes away. And slowly but surely, the buzzing and the hum and the electricity exit your body. Now you're just cold, wet, on the floor, on asphalt.
I'm going to try to push said big dog off of my chest so I can get off the ground.
Okay. You can push her off. Would Tanya fight back and try to keep giving him kisses?
I stand up as he tries to push her off and tell her to come to my side.
As you stand up, she gets up and playfully walks over to you. as Netherius sits up. Blair looks at you, Netherius. Someone has a fond relationship of doggos, doesn't he?
Was planning to get one several years ago, but things tend to change.
So I can see. That was a weird thing your eyes did there.
What did my eyes do?
Oh, well, if you don't know, I guess it's my little secret. And she smiles and kind of perks up.
I'm just gonna grunt and then glare at Connor.
I plead the fifth.
Blair looks at Connor and smiles.
I was glaring at you for having your dog lick my face.
Oh, well.
I give like a heavy giggle.
Which probably sounds very odd coming out of a very large man.
Well, I think it's more of a chuckle.
It kind of sounds like Santa.
It's probably more of a chuckle, like heavy chuckle.
I don't know if that'd be a giggle, a chuckle, or a twirl.
Santa noise.
He makes
kind of like a low ho ho.
I didn't know Santa was a ginger.
Okay. He laughs. It is your guys' time to interact. You recognize each other. The dream you both suffered. All thinking that it's just one of your own.
So, apartment buildings, red trees, and dark worlds.
Four-armed ladies.
I don't know what she did to you, but it wasn't fun for me.
She helped me fly.
She definitely cleared my airways.
Make an investigation roll.
Who? Me?
Both of you.
Both of us?
Yeah. Okay. You guys don't notice anything.
Of course not.
Oh, come on, darn it.
You don't notice anything. By the way, just so you guys know, I have been using investigation for like perception and notice rolls because that's about the only thing I could think of to use for it, so I'm really sorry if that's wrong. If you guys have a better way of me rolling certain things, please do tell me so I can make it feel better for the whole audience of World of Darkness because I am totally new. Anyways, continue on, friends.
Is it just investigation for those rolls?
That's what I've been using, but I should probably start using something different for you.
You could do like investigation plus intelligence.
Yeah. If you guys want to re-roll it, go ahead. Do a re-roll and plus intelligence and investigation.
I'll re-roll just for the heck of it.
That's better. Okay.
Crap, all of the numbers.
You guys still don't notice anything.
What? Darn it.
No.
This is why I had intelligence plus investigation, because I knew I had a whole bunch of dice.
I have to look at 8s and 9s and 10s, but I think the successes are only 9s and 10s, but 8s are a certain... On occasion, I think it's with willpower, but I can't remember. So, yeah.
Well, then all three of these 8s are useless.
Exactly.
If we were supposed to be using willpower, I would have started using that forever ago.
Willpower is something different. I'm gonna have to take a better look at the rules, just so. Yeah. Anyways, continue on.
Oh, that was one hell of a dream, wasn't it?
So, I think we're talking about the same thing. Sounds familiar and seems
Yes.
familiar.
There was a other person at one point in time, and she's up and vanished.
Yeah, I have no idea where it happened to everyone. They just vanished on the stairs.
Tee hee. A small giggle comes from Blair. And she's just smiling, looking at the both of you. Are you guys out of your
What's
minds? What the hell are you guys
Slightly.
talking about?
says the child who's hallucinating something with my eyes?
Say it for yourself.
I'm not the one hallucinating eyes.
Apparently you're dreaming about four-armed ladies, apartments, and weird trees. Oh, and I forgot to mention dark worlds. What drugs are you guys on?
I'd
Whiskey.
say all of them, but I currently don't have any with me.
She giggles at that. It's weird the friends we can make in this world, isn't it? Really strange.
It's been a long time since I've had friends, child.
Maybe you can call me your friend. And she kind of puts out an arm for a handshake.
That's a bold statement.
I'll shake her hand and say, "Sure, kid. Everybody can use a friend every now and then."
She takes her hand, and as she shakes it, she kind of runs up to you and hugs you. Thanks. I really need a friend right now. And
I hug both of them at the same time and say awkward.
I'm going to put my hand in his face and try and push him away from me and get out of the hug
I'll be honest,
because I
I'm
am
trying
super uncomfortable.
really hard not to laugh right now. It's difficult. But
I just have myself muted.
Nefarious.
I'm not currently hugging any of them back because I'm still trying to process what's going on.
No, Blair hugging you. It reminds you of somebody. Your little
Yes.
star.
Yes, it does, especially with that sticker on her forehead.
Indeed. She'd probably be around this age by now. Maybe a little bit younger. But, yeah. Your heart kind of fills with this sudden warmth. You haven't hugged anyone in maybe 16 years? More? Less?
Only about 11.
Oh, is it 11? In
Yeah.
about 11 years.
Man, talk about lonely.
You haven't had this kind of human interaction. Friends. People who, I don't know, are friendly around you. It's not just business anymore. And for you, Connor, it's just a delight to see something like family again. Yeah, you have your mentor, but
Calling me a loner.
this is nice. It looks
I'm
like
not
a
alone.
family.
I have a dog.
It's more than just your dog. More than just your mentor, hard, strict, teaching you and telling you things. You could
My
see
dog is everything. Screw everyone
Yes.
else. My dog's the only important thing.
your
And
dog.
that doesn't mean you can kill it.
Your dog is important. But seeing what seems to be a hard, jaded man with a scar up his chin who's seen some things, with a small, joyful girl hugging him. Yeah, she's probably 18, but she's more of a kid to you guys. She's just hugging him. You can see that that she sees it as nice. She sees this. You can see the smile on her face is very genuine. And you can see a small tear roll down her face, but she quickly covers it.
I'm going to slowly hug her back and run my hand through her hair.
Okay. And you do. And she smiles at this even more. It's one of those things that you just feel nice about. The slow fingernails of running through somebody's hair is great for the giver and the receiver. It's that calming thing that just makes you feel like home. It's comforting. Makes you feel like family a little bit. Trustworthy. And for you, Connor, it's almost like watching somebody reunite. Strangely enough. But it warms everybody's hearts. Everybody, even if they show it or not, is smiling within. Warmth builds. And you're happy. A smile feels like it's gonna spread across your face, Nefarious. If you want to fight it, you can, but you want to.
I'm probably not going to try and fight it, but it's probably going to come off really awkward because it's been 11 years since he's last smiled.
It's a weird smile. It's like when you see a dog smile. It's weird. It's an awkward kind of pull at the lip. And especially with your scar, it makes it a little bit hard. But that's okay. Smiling is smiling.
I pat Nefarious on the back and say dance, which has Tanya stand on her hind legs and put her front paws on his back.
And she does. Almost dog grinning as well. And Blair kind of pulls back from the hug, smiling. And she looks to the convenience store. Is it just me, or are we having a heartfelt moment after somebody just got shot? A girl's bleeding out, and there's a crazy, insane kid still cackling. And she giggles at this. And
It's not just you.
sirens can be heard off in the distance. Does anybody want to say anything else?
It's not just you, little star.
At this, Tanya barks. Blair smiles. Boops Nefarious on the nose. Sirens off in the distance coming towards their location. And as the camera zooms out, a man on a roof, black hair and a harlequin smile, looks down at the four, including the dog, and he smiles. He turns his back to it walks away and jumps off the roof. And that, everybody, is the end of episode 2. Whew.
Oh,
There's a lot of emotions.
Ready or not,
Crap.
here I come.
So, wow, guys. I don't think everyone understands what's going on, but there's a lot being uncovered. Wow.
When you like had Connor meet this girl, I thought for a second that you were pulling someone from my backstory. I was gonna start freaking the fuck out. And then you made my character's eyes turn amber like the little girls, and then I started freaking the fuck out over again.
Okay. Well then. God, I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. This was one of those episodes where it wasn't really about the horror. Like, there were parts where... Like, there were some parts that were really screwed up. Like, there's a lot where about, like, the girl's parents and stuff like that. Even at the point where the kid shot the leader. There's a lot of dark stuff happening. But at the end, it still shows that there is hope, everybody. Even in the darkest of moments. In the darkest of times. There is hope.
Yeah, but we're playing World of Darkness. It doesn't stay hope very long.
Hey, you don't have to tell them that, Nefarious. You don't have to tell them that. They already know. Maybe. Hopefully.
I wasn't necessarily telling them. I was just stating a fact.
True. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I definitely am gonna... This is one for stories of time. Right here. A hitman...
A random little girl and
feeling love.
Old, well, not really old, but bearded guy.
A grizzled Irishman, and so on and so forth. And then there's good old hooded guy, Atlas. I don't know. You guys can think up on everything till the next episode. I am Steve the Storyteller, and I'm here to say my hi-dos, and I hope to see you guys next time, and I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as all of us have. I'm pretty sure they really liked this episode as well. Nefarious, go ahead. Say your goodbyes. I don't know. I thought this would be interesting.
Bye.
That one works.
Come back next week for the next installation of this Realm of Shadows thing with touchy-feely moments that make no sense.
There we go. Alright, Connor, shoot.
Hasta la pasta and have a fantastic day.
Alright, I hope you guys aren't crying too much. And I love all of you guys. Thank you. If you somehow made it through all of this, just wow. You're great people. Till next time, in World of Darkness, as something watches from the shadows. Bye-bye, everybody. Ciao.